What's up, everybody? Yesterday's episode, I failed to mention, at the end of the episode, Hannah Banana began to flower. Okay, she was taught that only God's chosen ones actually get their period. All the others, baby, God didn't love them. They didn't deserve his favor. So she wondered why, in this very moment, she was chosen. Now that she has blossomed, she could become a wife. Now that she has blossomed, maybe she'll be able to conceive. I have forgot, but I don't know how I forgot because I was talking about this at the same time. I actually forgot that this was during a time that birth rates were really low. Infertility was on the rise. So that brings me back to the question, where are all the handmaids? Okay. Shout out to Ocelot and Buddy for also noticing there was not a single handmaid in the entire episode. There wasn't one in this episode either. I pointed out that Hannah's household didn't have a handmaid because if she put her dollhouse, the little space where the handmaid would have been was missing. But there was not one handmaid in the entire episode. And that was the whole point of having a handmaid, so they could procreate, and rebuild the population because it was starving from live births. Okay. So yeah, where the handmaids at, child? Okay. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Poetry. This is season 1, episode 2 of The Testaments, the spinoff from The Handmaid's Tale. This episode is called Perfect Teeth. I am talking with a lisp right now because my perfect tooth ain't staying in my mouth. Y'all know I got a fake tooth and it feel like it's falling out. And I don't want it to fall on camera, but that's what it seems like it's about to happen. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. We like engagement around this channel. We like engagement. Leave comments. See, there you go right there. Leave comments down in the comment section so that way we can discuss the episode. We are only discussing the episode that we are watching or the one that came previously. We don't want to know what happened in episode 3. I know they showed all on the same night, but I'm not doing that until tomorrow, okay? Be kind to one another. Be respectful of one another. And we can still disagree with each other, withholding those 2 points, those 2 values, sacred to us, okay? What else? What other housekeeping I got? Like the video, okay? Then let's let YouTube know that you like something on this channel and you get recommended more things that I may post. There is a thank you button on the channel. It's the shape of a little heart with a $sign in it. That's the thank you button. If you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so because I don't try to sell y'all shit on here. I don't have no advertisements playing. I don't know. I think YouTube still play advertisements, but I don't play any. Okay, so anyway, hit the thank you button to contribute to the channel. That way, if I do have giveaways that help support me, paying for those giveaways and things of that nature, or you can simply hype the video up. That's also in the description section. I think it says the word hype. I don't even know what hype does, but it's some new feature. If you hype the video up, you get 3 chances that you hype up. And it helps us out in the community out here in these YouTube streets. Draws more people into the fam, okay? I think that's the housekeeping right now. So, speaking of shout outs though, let me give a warm shout out to Janae 08 Abel. This was the only person who answered the trivia question from yesterday's episode. And the question was, what was the name of the actress who played Joan Crawford in the movie Mommy Dearest? I had said that Paula, the character in this show, was going to turn out to be Mommy Dearest later on. I'm suspecting that that's going to happen. So we want to know who played the character Joan Crawford, who was basically Mommy Dearest in that movie. And the answer was Faye Dunaway. So shout out to Janae 08 Abel for answering that correctly. Nobody answered the second part of the question. And that is, what other character did Faye Dunaway play in the movie The Handmaid's Tale? Faye Dunaway also played Serena Joy in the actual movie. So, just in case you didn't know, Faye Dunaway not only was Mommy Dearest, who was a mean battle axe right there, baby. No more wire hangers. That was her. And she also played Serena Joy in the movie Handmaid's Tale. All right, y'all. Um, Janae Abel, I hope that you didn't drink all of that champagne in one time, child. Because you got to be a little focused on this particular episode. So, Hannah, well, she was kind of actually happy to get her period. She had just said the day before that she'd hoped that her, Becca, and all the other girls would all start at the same time. Don't worry, sis. Trust me, if you like most women, your cycle is going to sync up with somebody that you're really close to and you hang around all the doggone time. It's just nature. I don't know why that happens. You get around another woman or another female at the same time, and your single cycle, baby. My cycle used to sync with my damn cat. It really did. Okay, my female cat, my cycle used to sync with her. My cycle sync with my daughters all the time. But anywho, child, like I said, it's just Mother Nature. That's just Mother Nature. But at the same time, Hannah was frightened about what this could all mean by her getting her cycle. So she gathered up her little soiled tissue. It wasn't that much. And put it in a wastebasket, and she went downstairs. She had to go find somebody and tell them what was going on. She was calling around for Rosa. Rosa, Rosa. There was no Martha in sight. Odd, considering they cater to her. They get her ready in the morning. They comb her hair. They brush her teeth for her, everything. Lay her clothes out. But there was no Martha anywhere around. That was oddly strange, okay? She going in the kitchen, looking around. Side note, when she came through that parlor, that doggone periwinkle and teal in that room was a little splash of cobalt. That was gorgeous, child. I'm not an interior decorator, but that was a beautiful room. I love blues, first of all. I love me blue. That room was gorgeous, honey. Gorgeous. Whenever I move again, I get my little sacred space. I might have to do periwinkle, teal, and cobalt in the room together because that looked good. That looked real good. So anyway, like I said, the Marthas were nowhere around, which was alarming to me that they weren't around. And but in walks Paula. She come in like she floating on air. She holding her skirt up in both hands, got her ride gloves, and she's like floating, flying, riding the waves of the air into the room. That's how she walks. Like a fairy. Like she's got this ethereal movement about herself. Why are they making her walk the way? It's giving bippity boppity boo. That's what it's given to me. And then they always play the bippity boppity boo music to go along with it. She might as well frolicked. Not frolicked. She didn't gallop. She didn't gallop either. It was a graceful stroll into the room. Like, bitches, I'm here. She might as well have been on Briggerton or something, good, getting ready to dance. I was like, why is she walking like that? Why are they making this character this way? I didn't understand. Anywho, did y'all see that? Y'all see that tooth drop? If y'all didn't, he's gonna stick up there this time. Anywho, y'all know I don't edit nothing out. So anywho, child, she drops to her knees right in front of Paula, says her little prayers, about all the gods and glories and the seven sons and what have you. My daughter's texting me. Hold on for a second. Never heard of it. That's nice. What's the date again? We going to a concert and girl, we talk. I want to talk about that right now. My daughter. Let me text my daughter real quick. Reply. Hey, keyboard. And I need to get to the dates. 17th. She's asking me some information she needs. Girl, that's why I was trying to send you the ticket. Okay, she floating. Where was I at? They made me throw me off. Oh, that threw me off. She ran into Paula. She dropped down on a bended knee, said her, Hail Marys and praise Jesus and all that stuff to her. Like, dear mother, I have come. I've arrived. And Paula was like, so joyous. Because remember, Paula wanted her to get married and get her ass about that damn house. Okay. So, it was almost a weirdly touching moment that happened next, though. Is Paula was like, oh, I'm so happy for you. Praise be, all that jazz. And then we show her bringing in a box of pads. And they was like always with wings, but really wasn't with wings because they had like a snap on it instead of like the sticky part. Like you could snap them together. So I guess they was reusable. You could take them off and wash them or what have you. And she was gave that box to her. And she just explained to her how to put them on her underwear, which was actually upside down. And she was like, you take this here, you snap this, and you put it on your underwear. But no, since you got to turn that part over because the part to catch all the blood is on the other side. But she didn't explain that to her. But Hannah was like, thank you for helping me out. Did that and other, this, that, and the other. And we get a little taste of what life was like for Paula. And she mentioned, well, she didn't have somebody to show her. It was important for her, for women to share these things with each other. But she didn't have that, coming up. And then she reached and gave her a gift. And her gift was a box that her previous mother, Tabitha, had made for her to hold her pads in. So now we get the story about Tabitha dead child. We don't know how Tabitha died, but Tabitha was dead. And we showed her back in the day saying how much she just loved dear Agnes. And she was able to go into the castle filled with all the little girls. And she picked out the most special one being her. And so Hannah was like, is that how I'm going to get a baby too? And she was like, no, girl. And you're going to have a baby right in your belly. And they laughed and they giggled and they all that stuff. The thing that gets me, at the age they supposedly showed Hannah would have been just snatched from her mama. She hadn't been indoctrinated fully yet. She should have still been a scared little girl at this particular time. But she was loving up on her from Tabitha. They tried to make it seem like Tabitha was just the most precious thing that could ever have happened to Hannah, who switched her name to motherfucking Agnes. Okay, but Tabitha dead. So that's how Paula came in the picture and how she became to be a second wife. Just how Naomi became to be the second wife for Commander Joey, or Commander Joey was the second husband for her. Yeah, that type of situation. And then the dude that, what's her face, was Serena Joy married in the end. I can't even remember his doggone name no more. Anywho, so yeah, they have this little heart-to-heart moment. And then Rosa comes in. And we've learned that Rosa used to be Tabitha's main Martha. And that's probably where all the tension really comes about, because Paula didn't get to pick who her Marthas was other than the Skillers, who wasn't in this episode at all. Oh, no, she was. But again, she's silent. She don't say shit. She was in this episode for a small minute. Okay. But she tells her, Paula tells Rosa that, no, Hannah done started her little period now, child. She's a woman now. Welcome her to womanhood. At first, Hannah was like, why are you telling this girl my business? That's the look she got on her face. But, she just rolled on with it and talked about how proud she is. And then her and Rosa had a little moment a little later. Like, you're a woman now. You can get married now. I'm so happy for you. I prayed for this day to happen. That type of situation. Rosa is basically another, can't think of her, Rita. She's basically Rita. How Rita was in the beginning, she was just like, seemed like she was so for all of Gilead and everything that they have to offer. That's basically Rosa. So, another thing that bothered me, because y'all know I nitpick on shit in these different shows, and we already nitpicked on the fact that the girls' ages were not in line with either of the books, with the book, the Testaments, not even in line with the first show. We talked about that. We beat that to a dead horse yesterday down in the comment sections. I shout out everybody who came through in the comment section. I really appreciate you. Small things that I noticed though. So yesterday's episode, when they came to pick her up for the field trip, Rosa walked Agnes out the gate, all the way down to the road and out of the gate. And she got on the big purple bus. In today's episode, there was no gate that she went through, nor was there a bus. They had a nice little Audi. I love Audis. I love those cars. That's why I knew it was. They had a nice little Audi come pick her up. And there was a new guardian who was filling the shoes of the ginger guardian that got his hand removed the other day. So there's a new guardian now at the house. He's really young. He's a Nick lookalike. He don't look alike, but he's Nick. That's who he is, child. Okay, so we go through and she gets to school. And when she gets to school, Daisy is there waiting for her. And she was telling her, you ain't got to wait for me, but have you seen Becka? She hadn't seen Becka. She didn't know where Becka was at. She wanted to share her news with Becka. Because remember, she wanted to be on her cycle with Becka on her cycle. And Daisy was like, no, I don't know where she at. I've been standing here waiting for you, praying while I was waiting for you to come through. And she was like, you ain't got to do that. Don't wait for me. Just go to class. Well, Aunt Lydia told me to stay with you. Well, I don't want you to stay with me. Go do your own thing. I got things I got to do today. And you can't fucking come. Okay? Now, it looked like Daisy took offense to that shit, that she wasn't able to go up there and follow wherever the heck Hannah Banana was going to go at this particular time. And so she's all hyperventilating again. And Gabbana? I was like, is she finna snitch on doggone, Hannah? That Hannah don't want to stay with her. What the hell is going on? Okay? Well, Hannah rushed all the way up to the top where the church boy bell tolls. And she grabbed the rope. Dun-ga-dong, dun-ga-dong, ding-dong, witch is dead, witch. Wrong movie. She was pulling that bell, baby. She was so elated. This was to signal to everyone that she is now woman. I am woman. Hear me roar. That's where she was at with this right now, right? So everybody's like, oh my God, children, the bell is ringing. All the Marthas, the bell is ringing. Why ain't nobody manning this bell tower? I digress. So everybody rushes outside. We got to see who it is. Who is our special person? And she's ringing her bell, ding dong, ding dong, and she comes on out, rushes out. Now everybody's like happy and joyous. Oh my God, it is Agnes, honey. Hannah. She walking on out and they all happy. They, yay, you's a woman now. I's a woman. That's what she doing. And so she goes out. She does the same prayer that she does that she did for Paula for the Marthas, and they tell her how much this is a special day. It's glorious. No, we got to prep you for the ceremony. They take her out and they pin the green pin on her. Now, I didn't notice that Becka had a green pin at all. When we first met Becka was talking about she still had to do her initiation and get pinned. Okay, so she didn't have it yet. And now, Hannah is getting her green pin, right? So she goes up to Becka and she goes to hug her, and Becca's kind of standoffish. Like she really don't want to fuck with her right there. And so she was like, well, maybe I could tell your daddy, or we can come by your house and I can hang out with you a little bit later. We could pretend we just talk about green stuff. And Becka was like, no, I ain't really up for that right now. She seemed real standoffish, and I was like, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? Now, while she's out here doing this ceremony, apparently Daisy went into Aunt Gabbana's and snitched on herself. Remember yesterday's episode? They pinky swore that they was going to keep the secret, but then Daisy did say, no, I got to tell. And then, no, Hannah was like, okay, whatever, do what you got to do. So she told on herself. But she told on herself just to smite Hannah. Just to smite Hannah. Despite what the fuck she said, she only did it to smite Hannah. So she goes in here and tells on herself, and they got her with a little mask over her mouth. And she's shaking and she's trembling. And they sit her down in a chair and they tell all the girls that she's a fucking potty mouth, right? So what do we do to potty mouths? We tell them how much of a disgrace they are. Dirty girl, dirty girl, dirty girl, you're a dirty girl. So since Hannah has now became woman, she had to lead the charge. So she all up in her face like a little dirty thing. You don't even wash your doggone legs, little dirty girl. You know, that's what she said. My words, not hers. But she all up in her face like that, right? And Daisy just in the chair. I'm like, what the fuck you hyperventilating for? Girl, be a soldier, girl. Be like Cersei when she walked through Westeros and they shamed. They threw cow dunk at her. Be that person right now. But no, you sitting here hyperventilating. What you hyperventilate for? Ain't nobody even touched you. Okay. So since she there hyperventilating and everybody is yelling, dirty girl, dirty girl, dirty girl, all to her face. What this heifer hoe do? Yes, I call this child a heifer hoe. She turns around and said, and Hannah was there. I swear to God. I'm sitting here on Discord because I watched it on Discord. I watched it once today. And I'm sitting there on saying, no, this bitch didn't. And then I had to remember this was a child I was talking about. Woo, so that's when she became a heifer. But baby, I was like, no, she didn't. I'm not getting it. I'm not understanding. What was the point of pulling her in? If you're trying to gain favor with her, why would you harm her in this manner? So now they both got to get disciplined. Okay, they in the bathroom with these fucking boar brushes, the kind of shit you clean the grout on the floor with some cow dung and fertilizer. I think she said it was cow manure, beef tallow, and ashes. Something like that. In there scrubbing they doggone mouth. And then the Martha coming there, putting some more doggone dishwashing liquor down their throat. And wasn't no fucking suds. I just be noticing, even with regular toothpaste, you get suds. There wasn't no suds coming out of that. Dirty mouth. You dirty whores. Just okay, I'm too silly right now. I had my medicine. I need to take some more medicine for real. Okay, hold on for a second. And then she said, I didn't mean to tell on you. Yes, you did. You turned around. You did a full 180. Pointed her in her face and said, she was there. In other words, she was there. She didn't tell y'all. She keeping secrets from y'all. I'm the pure and honest one, but this bitch right here, she will lie to y'all and deceive y'all. That's exactly what you said, and you meant to fucking say it. You did. And in my first thought, after I called her a heifer, just like her damn mama. That was my first thought, child. That's some shit June would have did. Woo, baby. So Hannah's like, I'm not feeling this little girl no more. I ain't feeling her. You keep your sorry, keep your apologies and all that jazz. Done with you. Through with you. Okay. So at this particular time, now she has to go to the dentist. Earlier, Paula said we had to make her ready for her husband. And part of that was having perfectly beautiful teeth, white teeth. And she's going over to Dr. Grove. Dr. Grove is Becca's daddy. I remember in the first episode, they had mentioned that she's trying hard to forget that her doctor was a dentist, something like that. Dr. Grove is Becca's daddy, right? So here, he looking at her mouth, talking about how good her teeth look, this, that, and the third. And he want to give her x-ray. He put the little x-ray radiation cape on top of her. And at this moment, he fills her up. Slides his hand down the sides of her bosom. And I said right then and there, I know what this entire season is going to be about. It's going to be about the perversion of men. We've already had 5 men hung for rape. We had another man get his hand taken off for touching himself on the school grounds. And now we have Dr. Grove filling up this young girl's bosom who just flowered that day, that morning. Okay. And I wondered, is this why Becka is standoffish? Did her daddy do the same thing to her once she flowered? He wasn't her biological father, you know what I'm saying? They look at that, they think that type of thoughts. But then at the same time, they don't care. Perverted ass men don't give a fuck who you are. Whether they your child, your neighbor, your grandchild. They don't care. This particular season, this first season of the Testaments, is going to be focused a lot on male perversion. The perversion of men. That's what it's going to focus on a lot. And in the era of the Epstein files and everything that's going on, I could see this is the route that it's going. I would not be surprised if these people don't have an island tucked off some doggone word, Jezebel resurrected or some shit like that. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so, but now, after that man touched her bosoms like that, she's having nightmares. And she's having nightmares of her future husband. She can't see a face or what have you. But in the middle of the night, Aunt Lydia arrives. In the middle of the damn night. And whisks her away. Takes her into this room. I think she's at the school. And into this large pool to baptize her ass. Okay. That damn Martha was sinking the shit out of her. Purify her in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. That's what she was doing. I was like, why is she dunking her like that? She was dunking the hell out of her, purifying her. And, she's part of the sisterhood now. All the other green robe girls was in there. They had their face covered at first. After she was done with her baptism, they removed their face. You saw Becka that was there. And all the other girls that were green girls. Now, like I said, I didn't notice that Becka had her pen yet at all. She was still in purple. I didn't notice that she had a pen on that said she was green, even though we knew she was supposed to become a green girl. And all the other little girls, didn't none of them motherfuckers have on pens either. When the hell did they become green girls? Okay, these are some of her classmates that she was always around. They wasn't green girls. At least they didn't adorn the pen. So when the fuck did they ceremony happen? You would think that they would have did it all together. This big ass pool. This pool was basically it was a lake surrounded by a building. That's basically what it was. It was that damn big. So anyway, after the baptism, Becka waited for her in the bathroom. And my instinct said Becka is in love with Hannah. The way she gazed at her, stood closely in her face, lingered on every breath that she said. That girl in love with Hannah. Okay. And Hannah was like, I thought you was mad at me, girl. She was like, She's like, I thought you didn't want me to be green like you. Be like I was stealing your moment. She's like, I don't want you to be green. Well, Aunt Lydia told us that once we get through this baptism ceremony, that we could forget about yesteryear. Everything that happened in the past, we could put it all behind us. And in her mind, she was thinking about the fact that man just touched her boob. That's what she was thinking too. But that's what she wanted to put behind her, is to let it go, let it go, let it go. Especially it being Becca's daddy. But Becca's like, well, what do you really want to leave behind? And I'm thinking, did they have a moment? Was that where the kiss came from? That she's interested in kissing? Did they have they claim that that's what girls do these days. That they try it out with their friends. That wasn't a thing in my generation that I was aware of. But that's what they say. Because we played catch a girl, get a girl. And I was the girl that was getting caught with about the little boys. I was dirty girl. I was a dirty girl. Anywho, child. So, but that's what I got from that scene. Y'all let me know if y'all picked up that same thing. Or is it just me? Okay, anywho. So, but she told her that she don't want her to be a green girl. She doesn't want her to get married and have a baby. Because I know Hannah was talking about, we could be pushing our strollers together, this, that, and the third. She's like, I don't want this life for any of us. And so Hannah said, well, what the fuck you gonna do if that ain't the life you want? Okay. So anyway, we now see Daisy. It's late night. You know, she's just snuck out of bed. They did an editing mistake on this scene too. Again, me nitpicking. When they showed the bed, the headboard is up here. This side of the bed, the right side of the bed, had the covers pulled back. Okay. Daisy is in the bathroom with some matches. Where the fuck she get these matches from? Sketching out in a map on a piece of paper. I guess it's a map of the facility or what have you. We saw from last episode that she was somehow linked to Mayday with that transistor radio. And I was like, this girl got a lot of god doggone paraphernalia. How does she get all this paraphernalia into this facility? Okay. How? She got a lot of paraphernalia. She's sitting there and then she hears a noise. Somebody is coming through the bathroom. They're making a lot of noise. It's almost like if somebody is doing like making rounds, checking around. And I'm thinking, didn't nobody notice that she wasn't in their bed? Didn't nobody know she wasn't in their bed? Okay. She comes out of the bathroom. She didn't get caught. She comes out and she hides all her paraphernalia in the bed frame next to her bed. Not in her bed frame, in the bed that's next to her bed. Now remember I was saying that the girls lived at the wife's school. She's still living at the school. But Hannah Banana lives at home. Anywho, she had made a comment earlier too. When she decided to go snitch and talk about how she had to tell the truth and she come clean and everything. And she's like, I think Hannah said something about her go back home. And she was like, everybody ain't got a home to go back to. Everybody ain't a princess like you. Bitch! Okay, anyway, just like her goddamn mama. So anyway, let me get back to this. So she hides that shit in somebody else's bed, just like her fucking mama would do, putting somebody else in harm's way. Because if that girl get caught with that paraphernalia, she's the one that's going to get disciplined for it. But anywho, then she climbs her butt back in the bed. Her to bed again, right? This bed was turned back on the right side. Now the bed is turned down on the left side. That's why I said there was an edited error right there. I be noticing shit. Anyway, she gets in the bed and she's looking at the girl whose bed she just hid her shit in. And the girl is looking in her face. Like, bitch, I saw you. I know you wasn't there. And I just saw what you did. She didn't say a word though. She just stared at her. I wish it would have been Shunamante. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop. I wish it would have been her. I wish she would have saw her. I don't know what it is. I don't know why they making me not like Daisy already. Maybe because I'm always rooting for Hannah. Maybe that's what it is. But anyway, no, Daisy turned her back to the girl real quick. Like, oh shit. And she's breathing hard and she's panicking. So we get back to the house with Hannah. Timeline is all fucked up. Because they just left the damn school where Daisy was there sleep. It's dark 30, child. And she's sneaking around in the middle of the goddamn night. Now we go back to the house. Wait a minute, am I saying it right? Or is this a different morning? I think it was different morning. It's the next morning, my bad. Timeline not messed up right there. We go back to the house. And Hannah Banana is up again, getting ready to leave the house. What have you? Actually, no, she getting home. I was right. She was going home. Because they just had the baptismal dunking in the pool and stuff. So it was late night. Now she's home. It's morning. And she gets home and they pull up on the new Nick. His name is Garth. Like Brooks. Pull up on him. And he's smoking a cigarette. He didn't bother trying to put that motherfucker out. He got that last inhale. He blew him some rings of smoke in the air and shit like that. And they pulled up and she steps out and say, you know you ain't supposed to be smoking, right? She got a thing for Lil Garth Brooks. Mm-hmm. And he just talked. He's like, yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Right? And they just, what he does, he congratulates her on her initiation because now she's wearing green. Now, remind you, Becka also already had her initiation. She wasn't wearing green immediately after that, but Hannah is. Anywho, child. And they just talk back and forth and he congratulate her on being initiated. He knows she's a woman now. Okay. And Hannah Banana is like taken by this young man. Okay, very taken by this young man. Like, no, he didn't say much to her, but he said just enough that when she turns to walk towards the house, she can't help but to smile. Okay? Paula answers the door. Why is the Martha's not answering the door? Paula answers the door and say, your daddy home. Okay? We're going to go in there and talk to him, right? So they bring Hannah Banana into the room with Commander Mackenzie, and he in there with a room full of 90-year-old perverts known as commanders. And like I said, they really hitting on the perversion. All of them slowly turned and just gawked at her as she came into the room. The air stood still. Her breath caught in her chest, and all she could feel was eyes locked on her frame. And she slowly came through the room, and the men shifted in their chairs. Penises rising just lightly in their tight ass pants and slacks and stuff, right? And they inhaling deeply and licking their lips. I'm doing the most, y'all. They didn't do all that, but that's what was going on in their damn heads. I could see it, right? She comes into the room, drops down on her knees again, and gives that prayer one more time. You know, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, and Leah and Rachel and all them damn people. She talks about all them again, and you know, the daddy say, "You gonna be a good wife. Gonna bear many children. You gonna be fruitful and multiply." You know, and she says, "May the Lord open." And while she's down there, then they show some slow B-rolls of one commander puffing on his cigar. She just told Nick they ain't supposed to be smoking. He puffing on his cigar and billowing out smoke. And he looking quietly over at her. Then another commander, we see him slowly caress his chin. Then we show another commander. Do I got a pen? I ain't got no pen. He got his pen in his hand, and he's slowly stroking the tip of the pen. They are really, really, really trying to make sure we know these are some perverted motherfuckers. And they looking at this child like this with this lust in their loins. That's what they trying to make us understand here, right? Trying to make us understand that. And she exits out the room knowing that they are going to be the commanders that are going to choose her. And she's going to have to sleep with one of them filthy, dirty-ass men. And because then we get the little happy-go-lucky pop songs again. Going to the chapel and I'm gonna get married. Going to the chapel and I'm gonna get married. Gee, I really love him and I'm gonna get married. Going to the chapel of love. Don't ask me how I know that song. I learned that song as a child. I remember that. I can't remember who was singing it. Was it Marilyn Monroe that was singing it? Or was it Betty Boop that was singing it? Going to the chapel. I seen it on some show. Maybe it was I Love Lucy. It was one of them old TV shows that we used to always. Was it Shirley Temple? Child, I am dating myself. I don't know, honey. If y'all know where y'all heard that song other than me just trying to sing it really badly right then and now, y'all let me know what TV shows that y'all possibly heard that song in. Was it I Love Gidget? Going to the chapel of love. I know some people singing for real, but it was in a TV show that we used to watch back yesterday. I'm old. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for coming here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video, which will be tomorrow night. Peace.